You visualize yourself in a holding cell, and a police officer tells you you've killed 5 people in a car wreck. I'm going to persuade you not to drink and drive at any time. Most drunk accidents happen out of accidents is 1/3, and the rest are 2/3, are just regular accidents. About $50 million is spent on accidents for what are the costs and damages for almost half those, and 60 billion is losing a life on those accidents. Each drunk driving accident costs $500 each year for an accident happening in the U.S. Out of those wrecks, in the U.S. every year there's 10 days of each of those alcohol, and those alcohol due to alcohol. The website I found that from was buzzly.com. In these drunk driving accidents, there's kills someone approximately every 48 minutes. And I found that on don'tdiedrunk.org, and more facts are there too. Most accidents and alcohol-related incidents happen about in 4 years. It has increased about in 2005, 160, 2006, 157, 2007, and 229, and 2008, it's 266. It's increased rapidly, and it might keep continuing on these accidents for most DUIs or accidents drinking and driving. Ways that alcohol affects you is your vision, your walking. You'll see double, you'll fall over and trip and maybe hurt yourself. Other things that alcohol does, it affects how tall you are, or your weight and your gender, how it affects the ways of the alcohol. But the ways that it improves on the alcohol, or ways that it affects, is it probably gains your pounds on you, more things like that, and that's how most people can handle it, and that's how people get a little more fatter. It bulks them up because alcohol produces laziness mostly, and other things that makes it a little harder for people to get motivated and stuff like that. Other things that alcohol does, sometimes it comes to depression. People look to it as a helping aid, almost like a drug, in which people will drink it uncontrollably and they become an alcoholic, and it's hard to get off of it, and they have to go to meetings to people about how to fix this, how to get out of depression. And sometimes depression does not leave a person. They might have to give up the alcohol but take a drug, and it affects them that way. But there are more ways to outdo the alcohol, in which it applies even on drunk driving, and people young and old can get in these wrecks for even being under the influence, and it spreads throughout the U.S. DUIs, license suspension, in years you might go to jail or be in a holding cell and have to pay more fines and live with this your whole entire life. Now I'll tell you ways to prevent drunk driving. You can plan out your night, tell people where you're going and whatnot, call or text, have a friend be a designated driver, not drink, and drive you to place or to home. Let people know where you're going, and you call a cab or have someone else help you out, and ways to get home safely and soundly without having another accident under the influence, in which more people get hurt, you get your license suspended, and more wrecks and people dying from money getting spent for nothing but you being stupid that night, and all that. And all that happening, you can prevent all this by even walking distances or figuring out where you're going and mapping out things. I hope this and what other facts that has been presented here helps me persuade you into not drink and drive at normal days, or have easier ways to get home and not kill other people or hurt other people.